Now, this never happened to anyone in the room, correct? So what we learned is that when we are processing a loan, it seems like conditions disappeared. They go out here, borrowers say, oh, I sent them in. Now, right now, do any of you have any of my conditions? There should be some conditions floating around. Oh, great. No, I really appreciate you giving that to me. Thank you very much. Wow, great, perfect. Laura, I'll get yours later. So what we did, we came up with a concept of how we can streamline the process. We went back, looked at our surveys, and we found that one of the complaints borrowers always say to us is, oh, I had to give documentation 2 and 3 times. So what we developed is something called the UAMC Quick and Easy program.
So basically how we've envisioned this is every bad survey that I call, it's always the same thing, right? It's communication between the LO and the processor. It's poor communication from the processor. It's poor communication from the LO, and it's the documentation. I've given the documentation to this person, that person. I don't even know what this other person's role is. Buyers are just confused by the process. So what we've envisioned is, now, and we have something like that right now where a buyer can upload their own documentation, but they can't really see it, right? So we want them to be able to see what they're uploading. We want them to be able to cross conditions off themselves. Now, obviously they're not going to underwrite the loan, but if they can see what they're doing, they can see, okay, condition number 2, 30 days worth of pay stubs, and they can upload it and see that they uploaded it, and they can cross that condition off. Now they know that they're that much into the process, and there's no question of, did it go to Susie? Did it go to this person? Oh, in her email, she's on vacation. It doesn't matter. It's all going to one place. Doesn't matter whose email. It's not somebody's email. It's the loan's email. So, and the buyer can see it. But they can't see it. So let's say you could tell to the buyer, you sent it, but everything's cut off. If the buyer could see it, he could see that he cut off his statements.
What we envision is a software platform where all the documents would be uploaded. The software would then scan the documents and pick out red flags. Is there large deposits? Is there garnishments on the pay stubs? So it creates a back end for the loan officers so they can check and see, oh wait, here's something I didn't do. What it will do is then upload the information into the LOS, update the bank statement, the accounts, taking that part of the equation out for the LO, making it more efficient. It would help cut down on the number of submissions that go into underwriting. We can cut it down from 3.5, 4 submissions, maybe down to 2.5 to 3. The other thing we envision is doing the verification of deposits. We allow, when the loan is set up, it automatically will create an email address that the borrower sends the documents to, that both the loan officer and the processor will view, so that we don't have a scenario where the borrower says to us, oh, I sent it to the processor 3 weeks ago. It would be in a centralized location where BlitzDocs is great, but if someone codes something incorrectly or names it wrong, it doesn't alert us. We still have to search for a half an hour to try to find it. With this particular system, it would automate that process for us so that we don't have to do it.
And the great thing about it too is it would be real time. So when the borrower uploaded documents, it's right there. So it doesn't sit in someone's email for a couple of days before they get back from vacation or being out. It's right there.
So I was trying to come up with a name for it, acronym, and all I could come up with was Q Crusher, which is QC, which I know is already taken, so we're gonna have to come up with something else for QC. So we're gonna take over Q Crusher. And Q Crusher, the idea is that we're gonna get rid of this black hole that happens when stuff goes in and it sits there for however long it sits there. The biggest problem that we're trying to address and was touched on is that each loan would get an email address, and then on the back end we would design it so that the email that's sent in with conditions, number one, we could tell who that email goes to, so that when someone's on vacation and you can't get into their email and all that, we could design it so that whoever we say should get that email, they get the email. Also, we want to take it one step further, also touched on, in the commitment letter, first of all, it has to be in English, and it has to be in American English, not mortgage English, right? And instead of 35 conditions, it needs to be the 4 or 5 that the borrower needs to get us. The borrower should be able to take a picture of that condition and upload it to the point where they're using their phone and they say, I need 30 days of starfish. And by the way, there was a starfish, that's how we got that, and there was a pail and all that. So they've got their conditions, they click on it, and they say, upload condition number 2, right? The system, if it's bank statement, says, oh yeah, it's Bank of America, it's that account number, it's these dates, and it says pages 1 of 9, 2 of 9, 3 of 9, and all 9 are there. Some very simple stuff that I think we could do very quickly. It should be able to read pay stubs, it should be able to read whatever the condition is, and give the borrower some comfort that what they sent in is complete. Now, the other thing we have to do is be able to attack that item right away instead of letting it sit there. So you got 4 days of things going on when nothing's happening. Did I hit it all?
You hit just about everything. Took a little. We were kind of going off of the technology that you guys have already talked about as well, but talking about push notifications so that the buyer instantly knows whether or not some of their information was viable and exactly what we're looking for. So like he touched base a little bit. The most annoying thing that we've told buyers over and over, send me bank statements, send me bank statements, send me bank statements. Well, when they upload it into the system, it'll automatically read it, and it'll read at the very bottom, you sent me 5 pages, but there's 9 pages. And I think that that's just the difference. It's a difference between what we're asking from the buyer, now it's changing it now how we're asking to the buyer, and it's instantly getting back to them. So when they only upload 5 pages, the system will read certain parts of the assets, and it'll instantly push back that, hey, I've received it, but guess what? You're missing some pages. So that's something that'll push back to the buyers. As far as the processors and anyone else who touches the file, it'll pick up on certain things, the technology will, such as deposits. It'll search through, like most of the times when you look at a bank statement, it's got like the running balance, and then one column will have deposits and one column will have withdrawals. Well, if it could just find a way to identify the deposit column, summarize it all in one, and then just present it to a processor, because how many times have we had a processor upload the documents but fail to look at all the deposits? It goes to underwriting, and then that's another condition where you have to they overlook it just because of human error, and they overlook it, and it becomes more of a process because it's another resubmission and it's more